The distress beacon had been pulsing intermittently for 3 cycles before the coalition frigate Resolute finally intercepted the signal. Captain Rax, a Krell whose iridescent scales shifted nervously between shades of cobalt and slate, had been tempted to ignore it. The coordinates led deep into disputed territory, a graveyard of twisted wrecks and drifting debris from a recent skirmish. Yet Marine Corporal Kara Thane had insisted on investigating, her resolve unshakable. Kara now stood inside the gutted cargo hold of a transport vessel, the remnants of what appeared to be a Thalrex research crew scattered like rag dolls. The metallic scent of blood mingled with the acrid tang of scorched hull plating. 3 species, blood painted the floor in chaotic patterns. Kara understood Rax's hesitation all too well. "Corporal, we need to evacuate," Rax's voice came through the comm, edged with caution. "Whatever struck this vessel may return at any moment." Kara's rifle swept the darkened corners of the hold, her helmet's thermal overlay rendering the scene in ghostly blues and blacks. Every surface radiated cold. Every shadow whispered death. Then came the sound, a tiny, trembling whine from behind a toppled cargo container. "Hold on," Kara whispered, advancing silently. Nestled in a narrow gap was a Thalrex cub, no larger than a crate. Zev, barely 2 solar cycles old, was coated in dried blood, his own and that of others. His golden eyes shone like twin suns under her helmet light, wide and shimmering with fear. The Thalrex were apex predators, feared for their size and strength. Adults towered 3 meters tall, claws capable of slicing through reinforced hull plating. Zev, however, shivered in her hands like a fragile seedling. "Rax, I've found a survivor," Kara reported. "Thalrex cub, he's clearly in shock." The comm erupted with alarm. "Leave it immediately, Corporal. Thalrex cubs, even injured, are dangerous. Their distress pheromones alone can incapacitate a human. He's a liability, not a patient." Kara removed her helmet slowly, meeting Zev's gaze with calm intensity. "I'm not leaving him," she said firmly. A tense silence followed. Kara didn't hesitate. She crouched, extending her hand. Zev hissed, revealing tiny but deadly teeth. A low growl rumbled from his chest. "Easy, little one," she murmured. "I know everything hurts, but you're safe now." Perhaps it was the weariness in his body. Perhaps it was the instinct to recognize a protector. Slowly, Zev's growl softened to a tiny whimper. Kara lifted him with deliberate care, noting how surprisingly dense his small body already felt, a testament to the predator he would one day become. Back on the Resolute, the medical bay descended into disarray. Dr. Merrick, a 4-armed Quarvian with a razor-sharp tongue and no tolerance for improvisation, refused to assist. "I am a physician, not a xenoveterinarian," Merrick snapped. "That creature could carry pathogens lethal to the crew. Quarantine is mandatory, and it's a child." Kara's voice cut through, cold as the void. "It's a traumatized child who has just witnessed the death of his family. You will assist me, or I will handle it myself." Merrick protested further, but Kara ignored him, moving toward the crew quarters. Behind her, Captain Rax began the painstaking task of documenting what would become a very long incident report. In the galley adjacent to the Marine barracks, Kara assessed the situation. Zev was matted in blood and grime, his small body marked with multiple wounds. The medical bay was unsuitable, too restrictive for a creature so panicked. She eyed the large industrial sink used for cleaning cookware. "Well," she muttered, "I've handled stranger emergencies during deployment." She tested the water, bringing it to a comforting lukewarm temperature, then added a small amount of gentle detergent. With deliberate precision, she placed Zev in the sink. His eyes widened, but Kara's steady hands reassured him as she began working through the clotted fur. Gradually, tension left his small frame. "There we go," she murmured, carefully tending to a deep shoulder gash. She found 2 more injuries, a rib cut and a burned paw pad. None were life-threatening, but all required cleaning and care. Kara's upbringing on a farm back on Earth had taught her the importance of calm, confidence, and gentleness when handling terrified animals, and Zev was both child and predator. Water turned shades of pink, red, and brown as layers of dried blood and debris dissolved. Kara's cloth gently dabbed at the wounds. "You're a strong little one," she said softly. "These will hurt, but you will recover." Zev responded with a delicate chirp, the sound oddly gentle for a species famed for its ferocity. By the time Kara finished, she had drained and refilled the sink 3 times. Zev sat wrapped in a towel, technically ship property, but clearly commandeered, looking like a disgruntled, oversized kitten. His golden eyes followed her as she prepared a small ration of emergency nutrient paste to stabilize him until proper Thalrex food could be acquired. Captain Rax appeared in the doorway, his scales muted and gray. "The Coalition is dispatching a Thalrex retrieval team," he said quietly. "They'll arrive in 2 cycles." Kara nodded, focused on hand-feeding Zev. Slowly he accepted the paste, tentative but trusting. Rax's tone softened. "High Command has been notified. They specifically requested your name, Corporal. Protecting a young Thalrex, especially in a combat zone, carries enormous cultural weight. You've either earned humanity a powerful ally or gained an adoptive Thalrex family." After he left, Kara sat on the floor with Zev curled in her lap, finally relaxed in sleep. Stars wheeled past the viewport, silent and eternal. Humans were often seen as fragile, soft, unfit for the harshness of space. Other species considered compassion a weakness. Yet here, with an apex predator cub resting peacefully in her arms, cleaned in a galley sink as though it were the most natural act, Kara smiled. Perhaps compassion was not weakness. Perhaps it was humanity's most potent weapon. Subscribe to the channel to make the stories even more exciting.